Part 56. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 552. Jinli let out a hum and continued to look at his wound. Lu Zhenjie thought she was worried, and said with a smile, "I'm really fine. The doctor said I'm fine and don't need to be hospitalized. I called Bai Yan and asked him to pick me up later. With an injured arm, it must be inconvenient to drive. A bully is always a bully who obeys the traffic rules." Jinli reached out and touched his bandaged arm. Lu Zhenjie's ears suddenly turned red. This development feels a little strange. Jinli, is she caring about me? Do you feel sorry for my injury? He even thought strangely in his heart, if he had known that he was injured, he would have been able to get Jinli's contact, if he had known. He woke up in time and stopped this dangerous thought. Jinli's hand also held his injured arm. A faint silver light appeared on her palm. Lu Zhenjie only felt a warm feeling coming from the wound, and he felt something was wrong. How? Jinli withdrew her hand and looked at his hand with a smile. Feel it, does it still hurt? Lu Zhenjie understood something, raised his injured arm, and it didn't hurt anymore. He pressed the other hand again, and it really didn't hurt. He subconsciously wanted to take a look at the bandage, but was stopped by Jinli. "Will you wrap it up if the doctor comes later?" Lu Zhenjie. He gave up this idea, but still looked at Jinli with a little excitement. "This is amazing. Jinli, you are amazing." Jinli smiled slightly, quite proud. "It's just a trick." Then she sat up straight and looked at Lu Zhenjie seriously. "Now, the small problems are solved, we're going to talk about the big things." Lu Zhenjie. "What's the big deal? Did something big happen that I don't know about?" His mind turned around rapidly, and he really couldn't connect anything he knew with the word big event. He looked at Jinli suspiciously. Jinli still looked at him seriously. "Just after your car accident, and now, in less than an hour, I figured out one thing." Lu Zhenjie's heart skipped a beat. His expression also became serious. "What is it?" He lowered his voice. Jinli's big, beautiful eyes stared at him without blinking, from the straight eyebrows to the deep eyes, to the beautifully shaped lips and chin. In fact, she didn't quite understand. This human being is good looking, but in theory, it shouldn't be able to make the little fairy fall in love. But the little fairy is a little fairy who dares to think and speak. She continued to seriously say what she wanted to understand. "I found out that I seem to really like you a little bit." Boom. In a word, fireworks exploded in Lu Zhenjie's mind. His thoughts were in a mess, and it seemed as if stars were popping up in front of his eyes. This feeling made him doubt whether the words he just heard were just his own hallucinations. He shook his head hard, looked at Jinli seriously, and said in an urgent tone, "Just now, I didn't hear clearly just now, Jinli, tell me again, okay?" Jinli gave him a helpless look, and thought that this human being seemed to be going silly with joy. Looking stupid. But she also admitted in her heart that this reaction made herself very happy. This also proved the charm of the little fairy, didn't it? She cleared her throat. "Listen, I only said it once, you have to listen clearly." Lu Zhenjie nodded. "Must." He will remember the sentence firmly, and he will never forget it for the rest of his life. "I, Jinli, find myself a little happy." The door of the ward was pushed open vigorously. Bai Yan rushed in panting. "Sir, are you okay?" "Overlord, MD Bai Yan, you are dead. 8 is over. In the early morning, the tree has to be updated, and I dare not stay up so late. See you tomorrow during the day. I'm asking for a monthly ticket." The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 553. There was a suffocating silence in the room. Bai Yan maintained the posture of pushing the door to enter, and the two people in the room were all looking at him. Miss Jinli was okay, but she looked a little surprised. But sir. Sensing his own death gaze, Bai Yan felt that he probably might disturb Mr. Something. He smiled awkwardly. Miss Jinli is here too, what are you talking about? Then you. Jinli stood up and interrupted him, Assistant Bai is here? Come in and talk about something. It just so happens that Lu Zhenjia can be discharged from the hospital, so you can go through the discharge procedures for him. Bai Yan. It's not an illusion, Mr. S gaze is even more frightening. Lu Zhenjia was very angry. Very angry. Also very frustrated. Panic. He finally got such a sentence from the little fairy, damn Bai Yan. Africa can no longer satisfy you, go to the North Pole tomorrow. He snorted coldly and looked at Jinli, you haven't finished your sentence yet. He didn't mind Jinli confessing to himself in front of other people. If you can, it's really the best face to people in the world. In this way, everyone would know that Jinli belonged to him. It's a pity, Jinli glanced at him and shook his head, it's agreed, just say it for the last time, it's gone. Just kidding, the little fairy doesn't want to say it once and say it twice. How embarrassing. Lu Zhenjia, huh? He couldn't bear to be angry with Jinli, so he could only put his anger on Bai Yan. Bai Yan. With trepidation, he completed the discharge procedures for his husband, and acted as a driver to take the two of them home. Along the way, the atmosphere was subtle and silent. Bai Yan dared not speak. Although he didn't know what it was good for him to disturb his husband, his amazing intuition told him that he had better not open his mouth to provoke the boss's displeasure right now. Although, it's too late to pretend not to exist now. Jinli felt a little embarrassed after realizing it. She is upright and straightforward, but she is also a reserved little fairy daughter. He just told Lu Zhenjia how he felt in his heart, but at the moment, he was still a little dazed. What should I do after I finish my confession? As for Lu Zhenjia, the blood in the whole body seems to be boiling, clamoring, and excited. Fortunately, Bai Yan was the driver and Lu Zhenjia himself was the driver. He was afraid that he could drive the car at the speed of the plane. He did have a lot to say, but there was an eyesore Bai Yan in the car. He just wanted to talk to the little fairy alone. So he also closed his mouth, turned his head sideways, and looked at Jinli without blinking. Jinli. She endured it for a while, and finally couldn't bear it anymore. Turn around and complain, why are you looking at me all the time? Don't look at me. Uncomfortable. Lu Zhenjia replied, you're so pretty. Then he turned around aggrievedly, okay, if you don't let me watch it, I won't watch it. Jinli. Bai Yan. Although the two of them didn't say any sweet words of love, nor did they do anything out of the ordinary, but he just felt that he was being shown off. He wiped his face with his empty hand sadly, praying that Guojia could assign a girlfriend to him sometime. All the way to home in this delicate atmosphere. Bai Yan couldn't even enter the living room, and was immediately kicked out by Lu Zhenjia. He was still a little worried, sir, your hand is injured, will it be inconvenient? Is there really no need to help? Lu Zhenjia glanced at him inscrutably, and said to himself that you don't understand how awesome the little fairy is. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 554. However, this look was perfectly misunderstood by Bai Yan. He looked at Lu Zhenjia, then at Jinli who was standing beside him. Understood. Sure enough, Mr. is Mr. This is such a good opportunity to promote the development of the relationship. Mr. is not handy, so isn't Miss Jinli still there? Helping with pouring water and cooking, that's a trivial matter, Mr. needs to take a bath at night, he. Bai Yan gave Lu Zhenjie a knowing look, and left very cooperatively. Lu Zhenjie failed to receive his subordinate's eyes. What is Bai Yan doing? Why is he getting more and more sloppy? In the huge space, there were only two people left. Lu Zhenjie took off the bandage on his arm. The bruises and bloodstains on the wound have disappeared, the skin is intact and smooth, and there is no pain when moving. Jinli, you are amazing, Lu Zhenjie praised again. Jinli smiled triumphantly, small. Lu Zhenjie just looked at her and smiled. Are you sure you won't say that sentence again? He asked. Jinli snorted, I said it once, it's only once. Besides, it's just a little bit of liking, so don't get carried away. A little bit is enough, Lu Zhenjie said happily. How lucky am I, Lu Zhenjie, to be favored by a goddess. Jinli raised her chin slightly, with a proud expression on her face. This is not bad. When I was in the heaven, I don't know how many fairies admired me, and I didn't even give me a look. You should be proud. Lu Zhenjie had a conniving look on his face. Yes, it's because of my deep destiny. He looked at Jinli. Since you don't talk anymore, then listen to me. Jinli was taken aback. What are you talking about? Lu Zhenjie looked at her deeply. Lu Zhenjie likes Jinli very much, even more than you can think of. From the first time he saw Jinli, it was fallen. From now on, the wind, flowers, snow and moon in my heart, and the tenderness in my dreams are all yours. Hearing these words, Jinli felt a little proud and a little awkward. If you like it, you like it? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So disgusting. She rubbed her ears, which felt a little numb. But she was very happy. But your vision is still good. There is only one little fairy like me in the sky and on the earth. If you like me, you will not suffer at all. When she said this, her cheeks were flushed, and she couldn't tell whether it was because she was shy or happy. As bright as roses, as bright as peaches and plums. It's tempting to take a bite. Lu Zhenjie blurted out, can I kiss you? After speaking, he was stunned for a moment. It would be a lie to say that I don't want to. When you like someone, you will unconsciously want to get close to her, hug her, kiss her, or even go one step further. It's just that he never dared to reveal these longings in front of Jinli. Lu Zhenjie held his breath and looked at Jinli expectantly. Relative. Jinli thought for a moment, why not? As she spoke, she sat over to Lu Zhenjie's side, moved closer to him, and lightly touched his cheek. She even kissed her sister and Lan Ting. She likes Lu Zhenjie so much, what's wrong with a kiss? Lu Zhenjie. All the nervous anticipation turned into helplessness. It's not like that. He sighed. Jinli, what? Warm and harmonious breaths approaching. Asterisk. Jinli covered her mouth. Whoosh, whoosh, took a few steps back, staring at Lu Zhenjie with wide eyes. Her eyes were dizzy with water, a little red, like a little rabbit. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 555. You. Jinli covered her mouth and stared at Lu Zhenjie. I just want to tell you that the kiss between lovers is like this. Lu Zhenjie reached out to stroke his lips, and smiled with nostalgia. Jinli felt that she was too used to that feeling. My mind is a little dizzy. Let me tell you, you are not allowed to do this again. Jinli frowned and said, it's strange. Lu Zhenjie asked back, what's so strange? Jinli said forcefully, it's just weird. She said solemnly, just now this, dear, I read it to you for the first time, so I don't care about your offense. If I change someone else, I'll tell you, I will knock off my head. Lu Zhenjie held his forehead. Continue to be helpless, but also a little proud. What's the matter with him? He's still better than others, isn't he? But a man who has tasted the sweetness will never let go of such benefits. He looked at Jinli aggrievedly, but, don't you like me? I like you too. We are now a couple. This is what couples should do. Jinli. She thought that liking was liking. It's fine after you like it. Are there still so many things between human beings? Anyway, she said dryly, it just doesn't work. She tried hard to recall the human dramas she watched, and suddenly she had a flash of inspiration. That's right. Lu Zhenjie was in a bad mood. Jinli's eyes lit up. I read your human novels and TV dramas. Between couples, when they think of each other, their hearts beat faster, and they can die for each other. What can't be changed, but I haven't liked it so much yet. You. Lu Zhenjie. Jinli stretched out a finger vigilantly, a little bit. I just like you a little bit. She held that finger, so, we are different from other couples. What others can do is others. I don't want it. Lu Zhenjie. He was a little surprised that he reacted so quickly this time. Well, getting a kiss is also a surprise. He got up, and when Jinli was still vigilant about whether he was angry and whether he would do something, Lu Zhenjie asked, didn't you have dinner today? Are you hungry? Want to eat something? I'll make it for you. Oh, eat? She glanced at the time and shook her head, forget it, you suffered today, and it's inhumane to ask you to cook. Let's take out. It's okay to have a takeaway once in a while. Lu Zhenjie nodded. Jinli took out her phone, asked Lu Zhenjie's opinion, and excitedly ordered a lot of food. She still hasn't forgotten to send Lan Ting a message, saying that she has come back and is now at Lu Zhenjie's house, ready to have dinner. Lan Ting, Father Lu was discharged from the hospital? How is the injury? No problem. Little fairy, it's all right. Lan Ting, do you need me to come and help? Jinli glanced at Lu Zhenjie whose bandage had been removed, and shook his head. Little fairy, there's nothing to help, I'm going home after dinner. Lan Ting sat on the sofa, looked at Jinli's words, and shouted excitedly in her heart, don't come back. What home are you going back to? What home are you going back to at this time? Papa Lu just had a car accident. It's the time when his body and mind are weak, so you should comfort him. And Papa Lu, who looks like a black-bellied and high-cold elite, don't you know how to play cute and play tricks to keep the little fairy at a time like this? How can you chase after your wife like this? Mom is very disappointed with you too. CP fans really broke my heart for you too. 3 more. The next update will be around 5 o'clock. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 556. However, no one cares about the inner world of CP fans. At least, the two people involved don't care. While waiting for the takeaway, the newly baked couple did not sit together and fall in love like normal people. Lu Zhenjie thought about it, but his girlfriend was a straight steel girl, and he didn't know what dependence and romance were. By the time Lu Zhenjie went to squeeze a cup of fresh juice, she had already taken out her phone and logged into a certain popular game. Shanghai Ji is a mobile game that has exploded in the past year. The pictures are exquisite, the original paintings of the characters are extremely colorful, and the plot is also very exciting. Since its launch last year, it has been consistently topping the download list and popularity list, 8 blocks behind the second place. People who play this game can be roughly divided into 3 categories. Passers-by party, just log in every day to see the scenery and characters. The Buddhist system follows the main line, the Buddhist system plays a dungeon, and the Buddhist system upgrades. Plot party, focus on upgrading the plot, trying to complete all the plots of the 3 main lines and 27 sublines, and play all the official endings. It is a legendary manipulator. Krypton Gold Party, this is very simple, the core keyword, Krypton. New fashion, Krypton. New character, Krypton. New props, Krypton. New pet, Krypton. New release, Krypton. Krypton, 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 Krypton. Krypton knows no bounds. Krypton Gold bigwigs have almost covered the entire server contribution list, treasure list, and world broadcast. Jinli was such a legendary Krypton Gold boss. Her account, players who play Shanghai G, very few people don't know, and the forum has been discussing it all year round. The reason is the same, too kryptonite. It's too European. Although the boss who can kryptonite is awesome, it is not so rare. After all, games are notoriously expensive. Shanghai G has attracted a large number of wealthy bigwigs to Krypton Gold, and those figures on the full server contribution list are simply shocking for ordinary players. So, how did Jinli Little Fairy stand out from the crowd of Krypton Gold bosses? Of course, by virtue of his superb card drawing technique. Many players have complained, saying that the spicy chicken game Shanghai G is too much, and all kinds of new fashion skin characters are completely for players to burn money. Complaints can be filed as complaints. Who made this hot chicken game make the characters so good looking? The clothes are so beautiful. The setting is so attractive. Even though the mouth keeps scolding, the body is always open. Krypton honestly. However, pure Krypton Gold is not enough. You can buy the number of card draws with Krypton Gold, but you may not be able to draw what you want, and it depends on your fate. So this game is not only scolded by ordinary players, but also by Kryptonites. There's no other reason, so I'm just asking you, for a new roll of Yuja that I've been longing for. I smoked all night, threw hundreds of thousands of money, and drew a bunch of useless cards, but the young lady just didn't come out. Would you be able to hold back from swearing? At this time, the existence of a Huang is even more rare than the Krypton Gold boss. For example, Jinli Little Fairy Acridine. It is currently the 27 servers of Shanghai G, recognized as the first European emperor. In her body, you can see what is called one shot into the soul. The boss draws a card, and the SR starts. While countless players were still struggling to get their first SSR, Jinli Little Fairy had already collected a full set of SSR and SR illustrations. The point is, it's fine if you collect everything secretly by yourself, and you still need to take a screenshot with a large size and post it on the forum. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 557. Jinli was indeed there to show off. She lit up the whole picture book and collected so many beautiful cards. What's the matter, can't people show off? But the subsequent development was beyond her expectation. Up to now, when people who play this game talk about the grand occasion of the forum crash, they all look emotional. It's really a big guy who started too high. Tens of millions of online players on 27 servers collectively went to the forum to admire the big guy's demeanor and enjoy the European spirit. There were also reports of Jinli cheating. Some also questioned that Jinli was an official staff member and felt that the probability of drawing cards had been adjusted. In short, it is impossible. Unreal. You are fake. Of course, it was impossible for Jinli to admit to this trumped-up charge. She doesn't like to play a trumpet, and argues with others directly on the tuba. Later, it was discovered that there were too many enemies to tear apart alone, so Jinli called the official customer service and asked them why they hadn't come out to deal with the problem. Because this matter became a hot search, it earned a lot of traffic for Shanghai G and saved a lot of publicity costs. The game publishers were still watching the excitement. When they were questioned by big players, they were still a bit virtuous, and quickly said, "Deal with it immediately." Half an hour later, the forum sticking announcement came out. Official response: there is no cheating, not a staff member, and there is no such operation as adjusting the probability of card draw. Therefore, I came to the conclusion, this boss's father is a European emperor. No one thought Jinli Little Fairy was Jinli herself. Because since Jinli became popular, her fans have spread all over the world. In a game, there are countless similar ids such as Jinli is the cutest, Koi is Jinli Koi Fairy, and so on. Jinli, the deity, was also regarded as a fan. However, even if the authorities clarified that there was no problem with Jinli's data, many people still doubted it. Good luck is normal. It is normal to draw cards better than others. But does the boss who starts every time he smokes SR really exist in the world? This is the reincarnation of Koi, right? Jinli happened to be in the boring period when he had just finished filming MRS Gene. She looked at those people jumping up and down with dirty mouths, snorted, and did another big thing, live broadcast, draw cards. Because she was afraid that her voice would be recognized, she even turned on a voice changer. It's not that she wants to hide her identity, but that Sister Ching has repeatedly reminded that it's okay to play games, and the vest must be covered. The popularity of the live broadcast is unexpectedly high. Anyone who has played Shanhai Ji knows that this game the first European emperor will draw cards live online, so of course they have to watch it. Anyway, it doesn't cost money to look at it. In front of everyone in the live broadcast room, Jinli drew 3 rounds of 10 consecutive draws, and saw that the barrage was still full of yin and yang, saying that she was entrusted by the government, and smiled slightly. 3 people are drawn on the barrage, and I will draw cards for you. Tell me the cards you want, and let me know the account and password. If you suspect that I will steal your account, don't participate. Swipe the screen from now on. The content: Jinli Little Fairy Beauty and Prosperity. I will randomly take screenshots of 3 people. If you don't want to give an account, continue to draw. As soon as this remark came out, the barrage exploded. So crazy. It doesn't count if you smoke your own, you have to smoke for others. How can you let go of this opportunity? What? You said you were worried about your number being stolen? This is a well-known boss NOU Huang in the entire server, and people like your account. There was a uniform Jinli Fairy Beauty and Prosperity on the barrage, and some people teased that Big Brother Huang was indeed a die-hard fan of Jinli. 5 more, see you tonight. Ask for a monthly ticket every day. The Koi Fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zheji. Chapter 558. Jinli's screenshot was placed on the screen. She read out the IDs of the 3 people, asked them to privately send their account passwords, and said the cards they wanted, and she drew them live. Of course, she had to prepare the funds for the draws. The 3 of them were very excited and sent their account passwords to the boss. 2 of them are serious people, and they both wrote out the SSR they wanted most, and they didn't ask for more. The rest is more sleazy. Jinli even coded the account password of the private message and published it. The message read: Huang's father, I just charged 20,000 yuan in, you can draw whatever you want, I just want a full picture book. Laughing and pitying Jinli on the bullet screen, he thought what a scam he had drawn. But Jinli admired him very much. Very good, very good. I know how to seize opportunities. It's probably the only time that I broadcast live to help you draw a lottery. It's smart to ask more. Players. The people who thought Jinli was pitiful turned their backs one after another. Just blow it up, wait until you slap your face, you won't be able to get along in this game. Asterisk. After a long time, the old players of Shanhai Ji still remember that scene at that time. A long time later, when the popularity of Shanhai Ji had passed and the server was almost shutting down, the video of Jinli drawing cards still entered the top 3 of the top 10 famous mobile games scenes with a strong posture. Huang's attack is so terrifying. The memory is over. Jinli logged into the game and scanned all the emails in the backstage. He didn't see any new official activities, nor any nice new clothes, so he immediately felt unmotivated. She yawned, tapped the screen casually, and completed several routine tasks. Lu Zhenjie put the juice on the table in front of her, and glanced at the phone screen. Are you playing Shanhaiji? Jinli glanced at him. Hey. You know? Do you play too? Lu Zhenjie. Of course he never played. The boss's time is counted by the second, and during this time counted by the second, there is obviously no game arrangement. But Jinli was playing. What's more, he doesn't like this kind of money-making game without any depth. But Jinli was playing. Lu Zhenjie said without changing his face, I've heard about this game. It is said that the picture is beautiful, it's quite fun, and the evaluation is also good. Jinli became excited when she heard it. Come on, download one and let's play together. Gaming is a kind of recreational activity, it is more fun to play with friends. Good. The overlord turned into a depraved overlord, took out a mobile phone worth tens of thousands that had gone through countless layers of encryption, and downloaded the first game on it. The operation was very simple. After Lu Zhenjie registered his account, he had to choose a character name for himself. He asked, what's your game ID? Jinli said, Jinli is a little fairy. It was very Jinli, Lu Zhenjie smiled inwardly. With a flick of his fingertips, he gave himself an ID Jinli's boyfriend. Sorry, the account name has already been registered. Lu Zhenjie. Very angry. He continued, Jinli's husband. Sorry, the account name has already been registered. Lu Zhenjie. He continues. Jinli's big baby, Jinli's wife, I love Jinli, Jinli loves me, Jinli's real boyfriend. He tried many times in a row, but none of them worked. Lu Zhenjie. These netizens are too much. He snorted coldly, and made up his mind, tomorrow, go and buy the game company. These people, change my ID for me. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 559. In the end, the name of President BA was decided. Jinli's only officially recognized boyfriend with a seal. Almost exceeded the word limit of the game. But it's over. After he logged into the game with his registration number, Jinli asked casually when he heard the familiar game music, what's your ID name? Come and add me as a friend. Lu Zhenjie. Oops. When I registered, I only wanted to impress the little whores outside, and forgot that Jinli was by my side. Saying this shameful ID really hurt President Ba's face very much. Jinli. What did you just say? I didn't hear clearly. Lu Zhenjie's tone was quick, Jinli's only official boyfriend with a seal. Jinli. She collapsed on the sofa laughing, looking at Lu Zhenjie while laughing. Lu Zhenjie felt that the way she looked at him seemed to be looking at a mentally retarded person. He snorted angrily, found Jinli's ID, and added him as a friend. Jinli began to teach Lu Zhenjie how to play. The two are very close, shoulder to shoulder, playing games side by side, which looks very much like love. Lu Zhenjie's mind began to wander. Some people are obsessed with games on the surface, but in fact all their attention is on the girls around them. Her arms are so soft. The skin is so white. Would it be uncomfortable for her to be so close to me? Oops, I didn't look perfect today, tired from a day's work and a near-miss car accident. Definitely not that pretty. Lu Zhenjie casually tapped his fingers on the screen, and Jinli watched in amazement. Others call me Huang, I'm a koi, it's just good luck, you're an ordinary human, why are you so lucky? Lu Zhenjie just glanced at the screen. Just now, he drew 3 SSRS and 3 SRS out of 10 consecutive draws. It's not as good as Against the Sky, but compared to other people, it's already very European. Lu Zhenjie analyzed it, It's probably because I subconsciously don't want to spend more money on this kind of setting to collect money, so the card drawn is more useful, right? Jinli frowned. Everyone wants to draw good cards and spend less money, but Lu Zhenjie, not everyone is as lucky as you, if not. She shut up. Lu Zhenjie was surprised. What else? Jinli said, if it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't feel any special aura from you, and that this small world isn't connected to the heavens, I would have wondered if you were some kind of fairy who had been reincarnated. He does not mean that. Lu Zhenjie couldn't help being moved by this idea. If he really was some kind of immortal god reincarnated, all the problems and predicaments now could be solved easily. He doesn't have to worry about his mortal status, worrying that after decades his appearance will remain the same and I will have gray hair. It's a pity, alas. A sigh. His mood was visibly depressed. Just at this time, Jinli's cell phone rang. The takeaway has arrived. Lu Zhenjie got up and said, I'll get it. He went out and quickly came back with 2 big bags. Jinli was not short of money, and she was never someone who would wrong herself. All kinds of Lu Zhenjie's favorite food were scattered around a large table. She also took a photo with interest and posted on Weibo. Jinli is a Jinli Acridine V, it's time for dinner, let's get takeaway. Picture picture picture. Netizens expressed hatred for the rich one after another, and released photos of their takeaways. A topic called hashtag quickly became a hot search topic. Lu Zhenjie looked at Jinli's Weibo, and suddenly asked, are we officially dating now? Today 7 is updated. See you tomorrow. The college entrance examination is coming soon, and I wish all the students of the college entrance examination to ride the wind and waves, and get titles on the gold list. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zheji. Chapter 560. Jinli looked up from the delicious food and looked at him. Why do you ask so suddenly? Lu Zhenjie was a little hesitant, but he still said, if we are in a formal relationship and you don't mind, I will announce our relationship to the public. In this way, no one will spread any more strange things about me. Weird gossip. His troublesome old man can also calm down. Jinli was taken aback. Lu Zhenjie carefully looked at her expression, and said, of course, you are a public figure, if you don't want to, just pretend I didn't say it. Okay, Jinli said. Lu Zhenjie was pleasantly surprised, really? Jinli nodded, really, I am not some shameless little fairy, and you are not some shameless person either. We are together, why should we hide it from other people? Lu Zhenjie was overjoyed, and he said to Jinli again, really, aren't you afraid of being known by fans? Jinli thought for a while, and suddenly became a little nervous and asked, if they know that I have someone I like, will they not like me? What if you don't like me anymore, what about my golden energy? She looked at Lu Zhenjie dangerously. Although having a boyfriend is strange and feels good, but if it will affect her collection of golden energy, it's better to throw it away. Lu Zhenjie. Although he couldn't see what Jinli was thinking, he could tell something was wrong in her eyes. A great sense of crisis enveloped him. The scheming boss is online in a second. He said seriously, Jinli, you underestimate your own charm. Lu Zhenjie was serious, who are you? You are a unique little fairy in heaven and earth. You are so beautiful and cute. How could there be fans who would not like you? A wave of rainbow farts made Jinli feel very comfortable inside, his narcissism skyrocketed, and the whole fish swelled up. You're right, Jinli thought deeply, how can there be fans who don't like me because of such a trivial matter? She took out the small mirror happily, it's impossible for them to take off their powder just for my face. Lu Zhenjie sat and looked at the narcissistic fairy in front of him, and said, then if there is no problem, I will post on Weibo. Let's post it, Jinli said generously. Lu Zhenjie then posted. He didn't say anything in particular. Lu Zhenjie v. A very satisfying meal. I hope that for the rest of my life, I will always have you at the seat opposite me. Picture. The photo is of the meal on the table. At first, netizens were just shocked by this Weibo. Is this a confession? Papa Lu is in love? What a sumptuous dinner. Papa Lu is actually in love, so what about my goddess Jinli? Then, soon, someone noticed something was wrong. Etc. Why does this dish look so familiar? Familiar at 1. Hot search 17. Blah, 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 could it be, is it what I think it is? Upstairs you are not alone, it seems that something extraordinary has happened. Public confession? Is my goddess and my male god together? Is it the one I thought was together? Isn't this table food Jinli's supper? So, let's think about it. At this point, Jinli and Lu's father are together, they eat supper together, and then Lu's father posts a confession. Did the two make it public? The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 561. Hee, some fans don't give gold to their idols, so many dishes, is it just dinner for two? Who knew that the person sitting opposite Lu's father must be Jinli? What if it was the daughter of the ship tycoon? I also think that Lu's father's father obviously looked down on Jinli before. Heh, some of you are really worrying about it. How obvious is Lu's father's attitude all the time? Has he ever denied his love for Jinli? In my opinion, the biggest obstacle for the two of them to be together was never from the Lu family, but from Jinli. It's also a bit interesting. Under normal circumstances, the first to post this kind of suggestive Weibo is usually a female star who intends to marry into a wealthy family. It's the opposite here. There is a feeling that the boss can't wait to invite the little fairy into the rich family. That's because no one else is Jinli. Under Lu Zhenjie's Weibo, discussions were raging. Lu Zhenjie frowned a little as he looked at the comments. He found that netizens are really not very friendly to celebrities. He has already shown it so clearly, and he also posted Weibo by himself. But there were still so many people mocking Jinli. What's the matter with Guan Jinli? Even if I'm playing tricks, I'm playing tricks, okay. Jinli looked at him. Why are you upset again? Obviously, the mood was quite high just now. Lu Zhenjie put away his phone. It's okay, let's eat first. It's better not to let this kind of thing affect Jinli's mood. Jinli looked at him suspiciously, but didn't listen to him. He took out his phone and clicked on Weibo. It turned out to be because of this. She looked at Lu Zhenjie, and taught him seriously, aren't you a very powerful patriarch of the Lu family? Why is your mental quality so poor? You can't be happy about such a little thing, and you can't even eat? That's not okay. She pointed to herself, look at me. When I first became by Jinli, I was so miserable. When I browsed the internet, I was scolded every day. I wish I could die on the spot. If I were like you, wouldn't I have to are you on a hunger strike? Lu Zhenjie. Logically speaking, the roles of the two should be reversed. Under normal circumstances, shouldn't it be that Jinli was upset and angry when she saw these comments, and then went to coax her herself? Why did it become like this? He was lost in thought. And his look misunderstood Jinli a little. She put down the chopsticks and sighed helplessly, oh, I really can't do anything about you. Who made Lu Zhenjie his boyfriend now? The books in the world say that if the boyfriend is unhappy, he needs to be coaxed. She doesn't know how to coax her, so let's solve the problem from the root cause. She clicked on her Weibo, forwarded Lu Zhenjie's Weibo, and added a comment. Dinner for two. Then he put down his phone and looked at Lu Zhenjie. Okay, you can eat with peace of mind. Lu Zhenjie. Seeing his fragile, foggy, appearance, Jinli said, I also posted on Weibo just now, proving that it was you and me who were eating, so that no one will misunderstand. Now, you can eat with peace of mind bar. Lu Jinja. So, did you just think I was upset about this? He laughed a little, and was a little moved. This little fairy fish who has never been in a relationship is also trying to treat him well. Okay, I'll eat. Both of them put their mobile phones aside, regardless of how much disturbance they caused on the internet. This night is destined not to be a peaceful night. 2 more. See you tonight.